I kind of want to set my kitchen on fire right now in my frustration, but I'm not gonna do that. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today is probably going to be the start to like a series, a cooking with Kelsey series, if you will. All I'm doing is just craving junk food and chocolate and sweets, and I've been eating like crap for like the past month or so. Like all of June, the first weekend in July was like a hot mess. So I'm getting back on board with my diet and not eating sugar, not eating carbs. We're gonna make some low carb, low sugar, actually no sugar cookies, and we're gonna taste them and see if they fulfill my cravings, because if they do, that would be super helpful. Yeah, we're just gonna get started. This may be a disaster, but you know. I'll write out the whole recipe below, so if you guys want to try this out, you can. You're not gonna be able to see a lot of what I'm doing like down here because I don't have a proper setup yet, but I'll explain everything to you guys and kind of like walk you guys through it as well. I'm gonna go change because it's hot as shit up here, so I'm taking this sweatshirt off. This is why I need a tripod. Okay, we're back. I think I'm like settled. I'm brewing my coffee because I'm exhausted. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to move that out of the way. Preheat the oven to 350. And my ice is melted. All right, we're gonna start with almond flour, which if you're doing keto or low carb, you can pretty much find a recipe for literally any sort of like bread or like whatever using almond flour or coconut flour as a substitute, which I did not realize. We're gonna do, let's see, 1.5 cups erythritol, which is like a sort of sweetener, I think. It looks like this. It just looks kind of like sugar, but it's almost like crystallized. Almost like confectioner sugar, and I may be completely effing that up, but I think it's pronounced erythritol. And we're gonna do a half. This is why I don't cook often, because I make an absolute mess. Okay, we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of that in our mixing bowl. Now we are going to do 1 tablespoon of unflavored beef gelatin powder, which when I first read this recipe, I was like, beef? But it doesn't, I don't think it tastes like beef. It's unflavored. So the real question is where my mother decided to store that in our kitchen, because I don't see it right here. Fashion Nova is sending me emails trying to get me to buy more things that I don't have money for, so I'm just gonna ignore that. 1 tablespoon of that. I got a lot of these things on Amazon because I found it really hard to find a lot of this stuff in like a grocery store. 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Zeke, stop licking. I hear you in there. That sound drives me crazy.
1 teaspoon of baking powder. Because we don't need more than 1 teaspoon, because then our cookies would be getting a little crazy and we don't want that. Whisk with a fork. I'm gonna mix it up. Okay. We need a stick of melted butter. Oh my God, I just spilled half of it everywhere. Oh my God, this is really happening? I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. Okay, so I spilt a decent amount of the butter. I don't know exactly how much spilled because it was melted. I'm gonna have to like guesstimate how much I lost. I swear, I really don't try to these videos up, but every single time I record something like this, it goes wrong. I'm just gonna put in a little bit more butter. I really don't know how much I lost, but we'll find out when we taste the cookies and they taste like shit. The next step on here tells us to put the melted butter, 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract in our mixing bowl. Alexa, play Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
Echo Dot. It's $3.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Terms in the Alexa app. Should I sign you up and play Crazy in Love? Clean?
No.
I can play similar music instead for free. Here's a station for you based on the song Crazy in Love.
Alexa, stop. Well, at least our butter is melted. And the recipe says melted butter, but not hot butter, which I don't know how you're supposed to melt butter and have it not be hot, but we'll let it sit and cool down for a second, I guess. Tell me we don't have any eggs. Oh my God. This is a joke, right? This is a joke. I've lived in this house for literally 24 years and never once have we not had eggs. I'm livid. Alexa, what are substitutes for eggs in cooking recipes?
This might answer your question. You can substitute 1 egg with 2 tablespoons of milk and 0.5 teaspoons of baking powder. You can also substitute 1 egg with 0.25 cups of cholesterol-free egg substitute. In addition, you can substitute 1 egg with 2 egg white. Did that answer your question?
I kind of want to set my kitchen on fire right now in my frustration, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to have to try the 2 tablespoons of milk and a half a teaspoon of baking powder, which we don't even have milk. So if anyone was wondering, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to use heavy cream because I feel like that might work, right? This is going to be a disaster. We literally always have eggs in this house until I decide to make a cooking video that needs 1 egg. 1. I'm done. I'm literally done. I'm done. I mean, I guess heavy cream is kind of the consistency of like an egg white. Plus, we already have baking powder in this recipe, so let me know how this is gonna work out, but oh my God, I'm so concerned.
Where does she keep the vanilla extract? No one effing knows.
What is the organization here? What is it? Oh my God. I just want the vanilla extract. Ah, found it. I'm still in disbelief about the egg. Slowly whisk in our dry mixture. We're gonna just mix it in till it's like a dough that we can work with, I guess. This is very watery and the egg is supposed to harden things up, I think, but we don't have an egg, so it low-key smells good. Fold chocolate chips into the dough with the rubber spatula using a cookie scoop or spoon. Scoop 16 even-sized balls. Really, we gotta count them out? Okay. These are the chocolate chips you use. They're Lily's. Order them on Amazon. They're for baking, and there's no sugar added. So, call for half a cup of these. I feel like a half a cup is not enough, but I mean, I guess we're trying to be healthy, so we'll sprinkle a couple extra on there, just because, you know? We're gonna knead in these chocolate chips. They're not really kneading in very well, but it's just kind of like a crumbly dough. Like, it's just, also the butter was hot, and I realized why they tell you not to have hot butter, because the chocolate chips are melting. This is like turning out really good. I'm just gonna go for it, you know? Like, we're just gonna take some dough and roll it, except that they're not really rolly. I just feel like I never know the correct size to make cookies. Like, I always want to make them bigger, but then like they always end up melting together. I was gonna film another video of me making like an egg frittata. Guess that's not happening because there's no eggs. It's just such a crumbly dough. Maybe if I had an egg. How many times I'm gonna take a shot every time I talk about not having eggs in my house? It'll be blacked out in about 4 seconds in this video. I may have overdone it with the chocolate chips. Can you really ever have too many chocolate chips on a cookie? I just feel like you can't. I just feel like that limit does not exist. Although this one might exist because I'm literally just rolling melted chocolate chips together. What I will say is that even though these videos may not be helpful to you guys, at least I keep you on your feet. Like, you never know how things are gonna turn out. It's never like, oh, Kelsey has great recipes. Like, she definitely is gonna give me some good advice on how to cook these cookies. It's always kind of like, will she burn her house down? Will they taste like dog shit? Should I taste the dough? Well, there's no raw egg in it to get salmonella, so honestly the dough's not that bad. So this is the before. See, like they're heavy on the chocolate chips. I'm not gonna lie. But the dough actually came out better than I thought it was going to. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven. It says to bake them at 350 for 20 minutes or until golden brown. Allow to cool on the baking sheets for 15 minutes prior to handling. And then we'll see how they turn out. So I'll be back with an update. Okay guys, these are the final products. I feel like this one came out a little bit better because it was on the higher rack in the oven. These ones got a little bit too burnt for my liking on the bottoms, which is annoying, but you know, cooking's about trial and error. I'm not mad about the consistency of them. I was worried that since we didn't have an egg, they were going to be kind of like smushy, but they're not. They came out pretty good in that regard. Okay, so I guess the only thing left to do is to taste them, and I'm a bit nervous, but I took one of the better ones to try, and here's the moment of truth. Okay, they're not horrible. They're actually pretty good, especially if I was like craving something sweet and like couldn't have any sugar. I feel like they'd be better with milk. I feel like overall, I give it like 7.5 out of 10, which is pretty good, especially since I messed everything up. There's only 125 calories in one, 3.2 grams of carbs, which isn't bad. Okay, so this wasn't a complete disaster. I feel like I made up for my mistakes in the egg saga. Yeah, I'll make sure that I put the recipe in the description below so you guys can try it out too. But I feel like this is a great recipe for people that are doing keto or doing like a really low carb, no sugar diet. But yeah, overall I give this like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. They're pretty good. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be sure to make more of these kind of videos if you like it. Make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button. Again, if you're not subscribed, it's actually pretty rude of you. So like, just like click that button below the video. It's like the big red one. It's like right there or right there. I don't know if it's gonna be flipped. Yeah, that's about it for this video. So I'll see you guys next time.